This is KGCI Real Estate On Air Live, your weekly deep dive into the strategies, trends, and tools shaping the real estate industry. From market updates to actionable strategies and exclusive interviews with top agents, we are here to unlock your full potential and help you thrive. Thousands of agents trust KGCI every week. Now it's your turn. Let's go live. Here's Ian Wheatley.
Hey, good morning. If you are looking to have true success in your real estate business, you need to stop wasting time on vanity metrics. What you need are real, measurable activities that are working to move the inventory right now. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't heard of Kenny Truong. He's the leader of #Team Fast. They aren't out here just closing deals, right? Kenny is here running a recruiting and retention machine that keeps a massive agent pipeline moving, even in a choppy market like what they're seeing out in the Bay Area there in California. Now, you may be thinking that leading a huge team means that you get to be hands-off. It's all about systems and branding, and that the small foundational work that's true to run any real estate business doesn't matter anymore. Maybe you're out here thinking that automation just replaces all that hustle. That thinking ends up leading to soft production, right? You're tracking the wrong things, you're losing agents, and the confusing social media presence allows you to confuse that presence with true profitability. Your competition is out here, though, executing tactical activity-based moves that you don't even know to track. So today, we do sit down with Kenny Truong, the leader of #Team Fast, and we talk about all those non-negotiable daily operational rhythms that keep their massive volume team in motion over at eXp Realty. Now, we're digging into the activity-based metrics, why open houses are still the most underrated lead source, and how you could use AI to craft text messages that actually get a response. So stay locked in for that. We got the housing headlines. We got your real estate confessions coming up. And if you're out here still thinking about last Friday's Agent Money Moves Friday Focus here on KGCI Real Estate On Air, just so you know, it was all about how agents can create passive income and build wealth beyond that next commission check. And if you're out here still thinking about it, you're not alone, right? But all of that, so you know, that was all pulled directly from our Wealth Wednesday content, the midweek tactical drop designed to turn you into a real estate investor, not just a real estate agent. So stop relying on that single stream of income, okay? If you missed it, the full archive available now at the KGCI Real Estate On Air mobile app, always free on iPhone and Android. You can also stream it anytime at realestateonair.fm. So go get paid and tune in tomorrow and every week to our Wealth Wednesday right here on KGCI Real Estate On Air. Now it's time for housing headlines. I like to start with some bits of optimism. According to the National Association of Realtors' latest existing homes sales report, existing home sales have seen their second consecutive monthly increase. In October, sales rose 1.2% month over month, hitting that seasonally adjusted rate of 4.1 million units. Now, NAR is reporting that marks the highest sales pace that we've seen since February. That's good news. And here's the breakdown of what you need to know out here as an agent in production, right? Buyers are actually stepping back into the market, capitalizing on those slightly lower mortgage rates that we were experiencing. It's kind of ticked up a little bit since then, but the median sales price, that's still climbing. That hit $415,200. That is up 2.1% year over year. Inventory is up a solid near 11% from where it was a year ago, sitting at about 4.5 months of supply. And crucially, NAR's looking at the share of the first-time home buyers in the market rising to 32% of all sales. That's up 5 points from last year. And that's a key data point that the largest buyer group is starting to feel comfortable again in that transaction, which leads us to a bold 2026 forecast out of the National Association of Realtors. That future pipeline, according to NAR and their housing outlook for next year, they are forecasting a major shift. They're looking at a 14% surge in existing home sales nationwide next year. And that rebound is hinged on this expectation that the 30-year fixed rate mortgage is actually going to settle out at or below 6% on average through the year next year. Now, NAR's chief economist is clear that despite the sales jump, home prices are in no danger of a decline, and they are expecting those to climb another 4% next year. So the recovery, it's not going to be uniform, right? You noted that that we're expecting to see better activity up on the upper end of the market. So think the 750,000 plus range. And so the takeaway there is the anticipated dip below that psychological barrier of 6.25. That barrier is what's expected to unlock a bunch of that pent up demand and start to turn up that sales volume rather significantly. So if you're not having those conversations yet, agents, with your prospective buyers and your prospective sellers, right? The people that have that 2 3/4 interest rate and hate the house, the buyers that have been waiting for rates to drop, we are on the precipice of that taking place. And affordability in all of it. We saw that in the October existing home sales report from NAR. Affordability is continuing to improve 5 straight months now, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association in their most recent report, that the national median mortgage payment that was applied for in October, it also decreased by $80-$90 from where we were a year ago. So the Mortgage Bankers Association stating that it's the most affordable that the market has been, going all the way back to March 2022. And that improvement is driven by a trifecta of factors, as they pointed out in their report. Got lower mortgage rates, rising household earnings, and a flattening of home price improvement or home price growth, right? And this is the crucial part of the conversation that you need to be having with your clients in the here and now, right? Stability is returning to that monthly payment, and this trend is expected to continue as rates hold steady and more supply is going to be coming into the market. Let's check your housing headlines here on KGCI Real Estate On Air Live. KGCI Real Estate On Air. I'm Ian Wheatley, and we are here at the Miami Beach Convention Center. It is EXPCon here in Miami, and we've had the wonderful opportunity to chat with some of our favorite award winners and top producing agents here at EXP Realty. Kenny Truong is one of them. Hashtag Team Fast. Sir, thanks for joining us here on KGCI Real Estate On Air. It's good to have you back. Yeah. So, you know, we talked last year about all kinds of different things, but there was one thing that kind of jumped out to me, and I was like, you know, I want to pick your brain just a little bit more, drill down into a little bit more of the tactics that you use that have allowed you to kind of build this massive team. What is one of those operational rhythms or stand up that just keeps your team's pipeline moving on a daily basis that maybe most team leaders aren't thinking about in 2025?
I think we talked a lot about marketing and branding last year, so we really dived into that a lot more in the last year. I remember I was like pretty disappointed at my marketing guy, where we had, you know, Instagram, you look at your feed, has like 9 different posts at one time. Right. I was like, why do I see Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff in the same feed? So we're not pumping up enough volume of stuff, of interesting reels. So we lean more heavily into marketing to showcase our team members and lifestyle. If you look at our Instagram page, there's no just listed, there's no solds, there's no reveals. So we really made like a cool, happening lifestyle thing. And that's how even though we probably, I think I calculated we had like a 45% turnover. So we lost over 100 team members in the last 12 months. Wow. But we recruited probably 110-ish in the last 12 months. All right. We broke 200 team members for first time in almost 3 years, because I think May, June, July, that era, like 2022, we had 374 team members. We dropped 99 team members in 2 months to consolidate. So now recruiting is to fill our pipeline is like really recruiting base. So we're attracting a lot of team members to our company through our social media and Instagram page. Right? We're at the Fast Agents. You know, and you know, hashtag Team Fast, right? So the speed to lead, I have to imagine, really matters. How do you measure that across all of those agents? And what is the benchmark they have to hit for production or for production? For production, we really emphasize having the team members come to our 3 times a week coaching call from my sales director, Elias Sudo. Having them come to team meeting and our workshops, enrolling in our lead certification program to get leads. And then if they're part of the lead program, a third of the company touches online leads. It only counts for like 17% of our overall business. Okay. And inside there, if they're in the program, then they're measured on their pickup rate, their Zillow, like ALM script, their showing percentage, their offer writing percentage. So that trains them to become a better agent, which in the end like increases their productivity. We don't have a minimum standard of how many deals they're closing, but if they don't do a deal in 6 months, we call, check in on them, and recommend that they join one of our like boot camps and programs.
Got it. How do you track all of that?
We were using Sisu years ago, prior to ESP partnership, but then we use this thing called Home Tracker. I forgot what acronyms are. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Just to cut costs, and like we use a money board, but our team members track their conversations, track their calls, track their open houses, track their appointments, and stuff like that. And then every once in a while, we'll run like contests. Like recently, we like for ESPCon, we're at ESPCon right now.
Right.
We ran a contest for most conversations, and one of our agents had like in 6 weeks had like 350 conversations, and she won a free ticket to ESP, including her flight. And then we had like other programs where we do this thing called like a hustler's lunch every 2 months. We take our top 5 categories. I believe it's like conversations, appointment set, hours working in your business, hours working on your business, and number of open houses. And then the top 5 winners for that month. And the following month, we take them out for a nice lunch.
That's awesome.
So we really, really hit like the KPIs, like all that stuff. And then the intensity program that Elias runs it like every other quarter.
Okay.
They work off of more of a spreadsheet. I don't know the exact numbers, but I have a T-shirt with all numbers in the back. But like you have to do in 1 month like 200 doors, maybe a week actually, like 200 doors knock, like 2 open houses, 3 reels on your wall, 5 daily video or DMs with people, 20 conversations. So we really, really hit like the metrics that you're supposed to do, very activity based.
Good. Catching up with Kenny Truong. He is the leader of Team Fast, second in team volume here at eXp Realty. We're broadcasting from the Miami Beach Convention Center here for eXpCon. I mean, there's a lot. You just threw a lot out there. What sort of CRM automations or AI workflows have you implemented as the team lead that has saved your team countless hours on a weekly basis to be able to execute on all these things?
Good question. I mean, like we use Follow Bots we've had for many years.
All right.
Like the AI coaching in there is amazing. A lot of our team members, I spoke on the AI panel yesterday, but a lot of our team members are using ChatGPT. It's just it's the most popular one, where they're screenshotting a lot of text messages from clients or email threads where they can't get a hold of the client, follow up, like they're not responsive, to create something that would trigger a response. So a lot of agents are doing that for lead follow-up, which I think has been really, really helpful.
That's awesome. Now, you were talking it's a little bit of feast or famine out in the Bay Area right now. You were telling me a little bit that, you had a couple of quarters there that weren't so good.
Our Q4 and Q1 was terrible. Like it's when the Bay Area, for some reason, like when the Bay Area, when things are good overall in the nation, we're doing great.
Yeah.
If it's bad, we do worse. So it swings. I think.
Okay.
We are adjacent to. We'll do 100 deals in San Francisco this year, but that's not our bread and butter.
Right.
But I think the major metro cities like New York and San Francisco and LA, they kind of set the trend for everywhere else. So when the market's good, we do exceptionally well in the local 20 cities. This is like data from the Net Brokerage. I like seeing their feed thing, but like in the adjacent local 20 cities, like 10 cities have performed like maybe 20-30% more sales year over year, and then the other half are like below. So it's a really odd market that we're in the Bay Area. With between my 2 primary markets, Alameda and Contra Costa County, it's like 2 million residents. So it's a wide mix of different things going on.
And because I guess here's the question, but there was a turnaround there. Yeah. So how did you keep the energy and the production high when that market really cooled?
Just really focus on grinding. Just like, hey, we do a annual year in review meeting, which is amazing. Like we have probably like 60-70 people show up. It's high energy. We kind of talk about the company goals, kind of like a mini conference, like a couple hours. Talk about goes every year. And then I remember last January, our top producers, we have them speak, and majority of them said the reason they had really strong Q1s and Q2s. Oh, well, we also do a mid-year review. So that's why. So we do 2 of these a year. Is the reason why they had such good quarters was just continue to follow up. So really, really hone down on just like activity based. Even though you don't see the results, you're gonna do the things that you need to do and track it, and then you'll do well. So we had one of our worst Q4s and Q1s ever, which is pretty crazy. And then the turnaround was around the summer. We just recently had our best August in company history.
Congratulations.
Which is crazy. And September was probably like top 2.
Yeah.
And September was the best month that entire year. And now I thought that was it. Because we also like look at the market and look at our trends and income and all that based on history. And then October, usually things start to dip already. So September is usually our best month, and October, November, December declines. But October will actually be our best month this year. I think what's happening in the market is we have lingering inventory. Active inventory is the highest it's been since probably pre-pandemic. And then as a team that's like 75% buyer base with agents that are grinding and following up, I like this slow market where we're picking up market share very slowly versus just like a speed to lead, a rush, and it is a frenzy. So it's pretty wild. Like so I think we're gonna have we're cracking 100 deals this month. We haven't broke 100 deals since May, June, and July 2022.
Wow.
So I'm really optimistic about the next year from everything I've read. Fannie Mae or Mortgage Banker Association and all these different forecasters. Everyone is expecting at least a 10% increase in sales in next year. But again, Bay Area does better. And then I'm super excited because when I did my research, there's like San Francisco. San Francisco's AI tech boom.
Yes.
We're really seeing it. There's over 82 tech companies in San Francisco that is taking up 1 million square feet. Vacancy is dropping. Small startups are popping up. The ultra luxury market is moving faster than it's been in many, many years. So I think in the Bay Area, we'll see a trickle down effect because there's only so many mansions and stuff people can buy.
Right.
So people will, start buying, $1 to $2, $3 million homes. And then when those move too quickly or right now, they start moving to East Bay. So, and then remote work is down. I think remote work in January was in the mid 30% in San Francisco, but now it's under 20%. It's declining faster and faster because people want to see each other and start up, and they're probably shifting companies a lot. So we're ready. From everything I've read, the Bay Area is ready for a huge tech boom.
Chatting with Kenny Truong. He's the team leader of Team Fast here on KGCI Real Estate on Air. I want to hit you with a couple of fast fixes, if you don't mind. So for you, what is the one metric you check every morning?
I check my my Whoop every morning.
Your Whoop?
Yeah, my health data. I bike 15 hours a week. I just recently got it running, so first thing I do in the morning is look at my heart rate and my heart rate variability, my sleep score. It's been bad this week, really, really bad.
It's a bad week to be looking at that tracking, right? Like it's I was laughing with my wife this morning because she called me and I was out on a run. She was like, "What are you doing? You sound out of breath." And I was like, "I'm running." She was like, "It's 5 a.m." I was like, "It's what I got."
We focus on our health. Like Elias, our sales coach, he's the Vin Diesel looking buff dude. So he coaches the human, the person. So we really focus on like having a good life, which will then roll into having a better business.
Yeah. So focusing on the human body, focusing on that.
Yeah, on your mental. So like you can't track that.
Right.
I mean, you could track that, but like we really focus on that, so they just feel more empowered.
Well, what's the most underrated lead source in 2025?
Under open houses.
Open houses.
Yeah, we should more agents train the open houses better. I looked at it. We've probably done like around 70 to 80 deals this year from open houses. It's the numbers in that range, like 79% of our business open houses. I know there could be more business done through that. I know many teams that are like heavy on that. It's hard to measure, but social media is still our biggest resource. Our top 5 to 10 agents, I would say 70%, over 70% of their business comes from social media.
Fascinating. And what is the automation that has changed your life?
Automation. I personally don't use a lot of automation. That sounds weird coming from me, but I have a lot of staff. Like all of our local human staff, leadership, all have their own VAs. So the VAs use a lot of automation, but we don't touch it as much.
So there's still a ton of leverage in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be leveraged.
Like semi-automated, because we'll like all of our coaching calls are recorded, all our team meetings are recorded with all their AI read it, recap, send an email out. Like so in our email newsletters, we a lot of like Canva and Midjourney and stuff to do animated. So it's like half is tech and half is human. So we're still very staff heavy to create our marketing.
Got it. And Kenny, if there was one thing that an agent needed to do, let's just say tomorrow's their day one, what's the first thing they got to do?
Just show up. You got to wake up, have a structured schedule to do well. I think real estate is, people say, oh, I'm my own boss, but you've never had a real estate boss. You literally have no experience as a real estate boss, so you suck at it. So you got to show up every day, whether or not you're seeing the results, and just put in the hours.
That's awesome. Kenny, thanks for popping by to KGCI Real Estate on Air. Have a wonderful rest of your trip in Miami.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Always appreciate sitting down with Kenny Truong, the leader of #TeamFast out there in California. We get together every year at EXPCon. Special thanks to eXp Realty for inviting us down last year and this past year. Looking forward to having the opportunity to take the show back out on the road when EXPCon heads to Salt Lake City next October. But here are my top 5 takeaways from that conversation with Kenny Truong that you just heard right here on KGCI Real Estate on Air Live. Number 1, volume does win on social so long as it's looking like you're having fun, right? Kenny points out, stop overthinking the Instagram feed, right? Team Fast focuses on pumping out a high volume of interesting reels, showcasing their team members, showcasing lifestyle, and really avoiding the for sale signs, right? So agents, commit to doing 3 to 5 short, fun, non-listing related reels per week about your day, your city, your industry news. Hell, I did 2. It was a birthday weekend for my son. I did 2 reels about what we did on his birthday eve day, and then a little like recap reel of his birthday, right? Those 2 things have gone gangbusters, right? It should look fun. All right. Number 2, open houses are the underrated lead source. Kenny is calling them the most underrated lead source because they're accounting for roughly 7 to 10% of their business so far in 2025 as we're coming down the stretch, right? So your move should be, heading into 2026, have that plan. Treat every open house like it's a mini event, right? Get trained up on how you could work them better and commit to holding maybe 2 to 3 a week, maybe not all in the same weekend, but whatever floats your boat, even as the inventory is still just a little bit low. All right. Also, Kenny points out, you got to be tracking your activities, not just your closings. Okay. Team Fast emphasizes activity-based metrics. They're tracking the conversations. They're tracking the appointments set. They're tracking the open houses, the hours worked on the business. They even run contests for most conversations, right? So your move here is track your own conversations and appointments set daily. You've heard that a time or 2 here on Real Estate on Air Live. But if you're not getting deals, the answer is honestly in those activity metrics. All right. Coming up at number 4, use AI to trigger follow-up responses, right? Many Team Fast agents are using tools like ChatGPT. They're using tools like Gemini to craft text messages or emails that clients they haven't been responsive to in the past, right? And they screenshot the old thread and they ask AI, hey, create something that would actually get a response, right? So your move is use AI immediately to craft 3 fresh, high leverage follow-up messages for your oldest, coldest leads this week. All right. Go back to what didn't work, screen grab it, load it up, send it off to ChatGPT and say, hey, make this more responsive, something in a way that's going to give your ideal client avatar something to chew on, something to reach out to you about. And at number 5, probably the most important thing that Kenny had to say in the conversation that we had down at EXPCon in Miami back last month was this: your health is a business KPI, right? Kenny checks his Whoop app, his health data every morning. He is Johnny on the spot with his heart rate variability, his sleep score, etc., because his focus on having a good life rolls directly into having a better business. So agents, your move, schedule time for your physical body and your mental health, right? You cannot out hustle bad sleep or high stress, okay? Show up with a structured schedule and put in those hours. And if you want to hear more of that conversation with Kenny Truong, that is available on demand here at the Real Estate On Air YouTube channel. All right. What if I told you that you had thousands of dollars of income that you've deferred, and all that you had to do to wake it up was to make a phone call? Now, I know you've got a CRM full of old leads and dead end contacts, okay? And you may be telling yourself that they're cold, they're unresponsive, and you don't have time to clean up that database. That right there is a mistake, right? Because that isn't a dead list, right? That's deferred income, right? It's a lack of follow up structure, meaning you're leaving money on the table for that one agent who actually has that plan for the long game. So this Friday, we are handing you the full blueprint in our Friday Focus, all about database depth, how you can do a better job, more effective job mining old leads for new deals, right? We break down automated campaigns and the conversation scripts that you need to have in order to revive your database and convert that cold data into committed leads. It's all happening all day Friday, right after the big agent meeting here on KGCI Real Estate on Air. All right, it is time for Real Estate Confessions. Y'all had some fun, it seems, over the Thanksgiving holiday. Even looks like a lead gen lever for some. So recapping here, if this is your first time, these are your stories, right? Message us on Facebook and Instagram, your real estate confession. Think of this as the water cooler story. But before we dive in, we got to get one thing straight.
Real Estate Confessions features stories from the wild world of real estate. Names and details may have been changed to protect the innocent, and occasionally, the not-so-innocent. All confessions are shared in good humor and do not reflect the opinions of KGCI Real Estate on Air, its hosts, or affiliates. No agent's licenses were harmed in the making of this segment. Enjoy responsibly.
All righty, here we go. It's time for Real Estate Confessions, because in real estate, truth is stranger than fiction.
During a luxury open house, I was showing off the smart home features, and I thought I was commanding the integrated sound system to play soft jazz. Instead, accidentally playing my kid's elementary school band concert recording through every single speaker in the house.
My entire lead generation strategy for the last 2 quarters has been praying my sphere of influence mentions me at Thanksgiving. It worked better than my Zillow spend.
I once spent 45 minutes trying to explain a complex HOA document, only to realize the client was more concerned about the placement of the garage refrigerator they saw in the listing photo.
The most productive 60 minutes of my week is hiding my phone, muting all notifications, and aggressively cold calling expireds while wearing noise-canceling headphones. It's my own personal version of Agent Zen.
I confess I'm not sure what my brokerage's mascot is, but I know the Wi-Fi password to 3 different coffee shops near my office. That's my real network.
Alrighty, that, my friends, is why we love the job. It's never boring, and we're all out here making the same wild mistakes. So if you've got that office water cooler story, something real, something ridiculous, but never a violation, we need to hear it. Message us your confession on Facebook and Instagram. We'll feature the very best ones right here next week on Real Estate On Air Live. And speaking of next steps, we just dropped a ton of tactical gold from Kenny Truong, the leader of hashtag Team Fast out of the Bay Area, California. You can find this on demand on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart, and dive into that description. You can get the top 5 takeaways, the full housing headlines right there. And if you want to know how you can stop leaving money in your database, make sure that you are tuning in for the Friday Focus, where we are talking all about database depth. We are going to be handing you the scripts, the campaigns to make those old leads pay. Just open up that KGCI Real Estate On Air mobile app, always free for iPhone and Android users. Just make sure that your notifications are on. We'll remind you that it's coming. That's a wrap on this week's Real Estate On Air Live. I'm Ian Wheatley. Be good.